So I'm sure most of you have heard Tethrd has released a turkey hunting vest. We're calling it the M2 vest. They did it in partnership with the hunting public, who gave them a lot of feedback on how they wanted it built and the features that they wanted on a vest. For a long time, I felt that there are just serious issues with hunting vests in general. Sitka last year came out with a new kind of style of vest that was interesting. It was also expensive. I think that was $250, and it's not made in America. And some of the features just were lacking, in my opinion, on that vest. It didn't have everything that I want in a vest, and it wasn't customizable. It was kind of, you buy it and that's the layout, and there's no way to change it. So I was really excited to see Tethrd release this. Obviously at $300, this vest just isn't for everybody. This seems like a minimalist vest, and that was my initial impression. I wondered if it would be enough space and enough storage for me. I'm switching from the Cabela's Tactical Tethrd 2 vest. I can fit everything in this vest that I fit in that vest, even though it's only these two pockets and the backpack. The issue that I had with so many turkey vests is that they're built for guys that are much larger than me. I'm a pretty slender guy, and so even with every strap cranked down as tight as it could possibly go and adjusted, it was enormous. I mean, this vest, it rides like a backpack. As you can see, I'm gonna turn, it's just really snug to your body and rides low. Very narrow, very sleek when you're going through brush, when you're crawling. I mean, this is just, it fits your body. It's the first turkey vest I've ever really had that fits your body that way. A lot of turkey vests have a lot of fabric, and so they make you feel like there's a ton of storage, when in reality, the layout just isn't efficient. And so this kind of allows you to keep all that weight on your hips down, out of the way. There's nothing on your chest, so you can wear binoculars. I'm 6'3" and around 185, 190 pounds. I have the small belt, and I have it almost all the way maxed out. Just for frame of reference, I have like a 32-inch waist, give or take, and so that's about what that'll get you. I have another inch or two on each side, so you could probably get down to a 28, I think is what they say. So first I'll talk about the main pockets. I like my pockets further forward. If you put them square on the vest, they're going to be further back, but I also like space for a water bottle to be able to fit in here. So I went with this layout where I've got them kind of more forward, and then when I'm sitting down, I can open them up, and I've kind of got these gear shelves right in front of me. So that's the two main pockets. I'll start with talking about what I have in the outside. This is a beanie and gloves in one side. And then the other side, I have a headlamp, face net, and two locator calls, a pileated woodpecker call and a crow call. And that all fits in there, plenty of room to spare. Moving on to the right side here, I have a slate call. My pruning shears fit down in the bottom, and they're completely out of the way. And then I would have my shells in here. And then I have this mouth call holder, which I don't plan to use for mouth calls. I will use that for a conditioning stone. And then over here I've got toilet paper, which fits in the big internal zip pocket. Moving to the other side, this is my main pocket, the one I'm going to be in and out of the most. I've got my glass call and my 3 strikers in here in one of the shotgun shell holders. Very easy in and out. So I've got 3 strikers in there. And then I would also have my license in this pocket. Personally, I just don't use a box call enough to justify carrying one. On a windy day, I might bring one, and that would just go in there. Even with that stuff in there, I definitely still have a lot of space, so I could definitely put snacks and things like that in there. I have the mouth call pocket down here, pretty low on the strap. And then I also ordered a couple of extra pockets. I have this Tethrd Molly pouch that I have back there. Then I have a water bottle pocket back here. It's just something I got on Amazon. Really cheap, really inexpensive, and just weaves into the Molly securely. So that's kind of how I'm running it. I like a water bottle. Pretty minimalist. I've got a couple of friction calls, mostly mouth calls is what I'm using. And then in the back, basically I've got the seat, and then that backpack water bladder attachment is what I'm using instead of the bird bag. I never liked the bird bags because they're too big and bulky, and I'm not really carrying anything in there. I'm not going to put a turkey in there. I'm just going to sling it over my shoulder with a turkey tote. So I didn't see a need for that big pouch. There are bungees on the back, so if you wanted to lash a bunch of extra clothing or something, that would be absolutely no issue. I can fit this Source puffy jacket from First Light inside that main compartment of the hydro bladder, as well as maybe a lighter like fleece layer. And then I have my 3D leafy jacket in there as well. That's in the stretch pocket on the outside. And then on top of that, you've even got the bungee. So there's just a ton of space and a ton of options and flexibility with that. It also serves as a great back pad when you're leaning against a tree. So again, $300 is a lot to spend on a turkey vest. I understand that. I'm not suggesting you spend it if you don't feel like you need it. But for me, I've been looking for a vest like this for so long. I even mulled around the idea of designing and having someone build me one for myself, because some of the vests out there was just unusable for me the way they were designed. But the materials and the construction all feel absolutely incredible. This feels like an extremely durable material, but it's extremely quiet. I'm very impressed. Stitching, construction, components, the buckles, the zippers, everything feels just bulletproof. Now, obviously turkey season's not open here in Pennsylvania, so I'm just out here scouting and wanted to take it out and get a feel for how things are laid out, but I'm really impressed with this vest. I think it's definitely worth checking out if you're interested.